Hello YouTube, this is DieHard1000 and welcome to the Town of Light, a psychological horror made by LKIA and produced by Wired Productions. We're following the story of a 16-year-old girl in the timeline of 1938.
The
We are
door
in
is
an
locked from
asylum.
the outside. Here, the doors can only be locked and unlocked from the outside.
Okay.
You can't get out of here. Only the dead can leave this place.
Alright. It's a bit weird. I'm gonna go down this way then. Toilets, bathrooms. Okay, that's fine then. An outdoors area. So it's nighttime now. It was morning earlier. So it's a bit weird. Alright. The doll? I left the doll in the eye ward. Assuming this is an area where people could gather and be together. In air quotes. Why are you taking her? Why is he going down towards the bathrooms? That's where he went. He just went down towards the bathroom. Something's gonna happen here. Alright.
He laughed, panted, and slobbered all over me. It hurt me when he touched me. I thought I'd suddenly split open with a loud crack, and I would be shattered into pieces. I felt fragile, sick, dirty, degraded. All I could do was clutch Charlotte tightly while Renée obeyed. He was the master in the realm of light. I was being consumed by the evil act I had committed. I threw up and could feel hell getting closer and closer. Those tests the doctors did to me. They said there was something growing inside, and they wanted to drag it out of me.
She was raped. Whilst she was here, she was raped. Considering we only just got into this chapter, we're going to continue on for a little bit further into the next chapter. I think we'll have to adjust because the second episode will probably be very short. I haven't done editing them just yet. We're still actually going through this until we have quite a fair few episodes. So that there's an interesting piece. So she was raped and then she became pregnant. That there's more than likely what they're talking about. So, we need to go to a pregnancy ward, I assume. So we're gonna try not to use the help, because that'll definitely help us keep this going for a little bit longer. So, tranquil ward, observation ward, refractory, toilets, nurse's room, grounds park. Alright, we're gonna use it. There is no help. Okay, wait on a second. It just occurred to me. It's daylight again. Was it not just night? The doors at the end there are open now. So we'll go down there. But it is very, very clear that she was raped.
She stayed with Renée during those terrible medical examinations, and that gave her the strength to survive.
So she used doll as her comfort. Alright. Here. I think we need to go upstairs. Wait, there's a door back there. Okay, it's locked. I assume it's the maintenance panel for this. Or the maintenance area for this elevator. The doll should still be here. Yes, the doll is. Just making sure. Alright. Stairs, surgery, surgical wards, gynecology, radiology. So we want gynecology. I assume we want gynecology. I heard noises from there. That's why I checked it out.
August 21st, 1938. Confidential. Dear A, I know what you think about these things, so I'm referring a patient to you, Renée T. This wretched girl got out of control and caused trouble in the grounds. She's almost 3 months pregnant. The nurses should be more alert. I'm examining the girl on the 28th. I'll handle things very carefully, don't worry. We don't want to make matters worse. Then they said that Renée was crazy, and that the illness was all in her head. Careful, little girl, careful. I was scared, and I didn't talk to anyone about the illness. Only her. Not even the other doctor. He never touched Renée. He just wrote things down. You can tell me everything. Don't be afraid, he said. Everything's going to be fine. Do you want to know what I am writing? I note down what I observe in you, everything I see. He didn't hate Renée. He tried to help her, but he rarely examined her in those small surgeries.
Okay, we want the surgery room. Which are these ones? Alright.
June 1935. After much theorizing and practice in clinics for the privileged, the moment for action has finally arrived. Volterra is the right place. It's an avant-garde hospital, the perfect place for a doctor who really wants to make a difference. November 20th. Crossing the threshold of the asylum was similar to entering another dimension. A world of smells, noises, and images which it is almost impossible to imagine, describe, or explain. August 1936. The situation is similar to that in many other institutions. The department is overcrowded. Hundreds of patients are supervised by a handful of nurses who are forced to tie the more distressed ones to their beds or to radiators. They do 24-hour shifts. It's impossible to work like this. We doctors rarely see the female patients, and it's the nurses who tell us what's happening to the women. The overpowering stench in the wards, the constant din of shouts and voices that are barely recognizable as human, dirty, naked bodies devoid of any dignity. The lunatic asylum gets under your skin and wears you down. I often consider resigning. I feel useless, impotent, a sort of merciful jailer, a mercy that helps no one and only helps to ease my conscience. March 15th, 1938. Dramas are played out before my eyes every single day, and I try to distance myself from them and just do the best I can. But a girl arrived some days ago. I couldn't avoid her gaze. All she asked in her dignified silence was not to be ripped away from her world. And me. I'm old enough to be her father, the father she never had, who didn't want her, who rejected her without even knowing her. I too refused what she asked me. I couldn't do anything but add my signature and consign her to hell. A danger to herself and to others, and a cause of public scandal. This was what was written on the accompanying note from the police headquarters. It was difficult not to agree with it. How much more violence must this poor girl be subjected to? Her gaze is so intense, so far removed from the carefree nature which should be the joyous hallmark of her age. I cried myself to sleep in my solitude. I kept thinking about those sad and frightened eyes staring at me.
So now we have a date that Renee was put in here, which was 15th of March. Alright, well I'm assuming it's 15th of March. I'm not actually sure. Alright, we're not going to go through that.
March 12th, 1938. Renée T., 16 years old. Menstruation at age 12. Housewife. Father unknown. Mother a seamstress. Admitted in observation yesterday morning from Volterra, accompanied by a police officer authorized by the examining magistrate of the Court of Pisa to be admitted for a psychiatric evaluation, which I have carried out. Medical certificate. Mental illness preceded by warning signs. Has suffered from depression for a year, believing she had tuberculosis. Food deprivation. We can't read this document. It is forbidden. We mustn't. If they find out, there will be trouble.
Right, so we have a choice here. I didn't expect any choices actually.
We have to look for Amara. We must hurry. We have to follow the memories and make sure they don't fade. She is frightened, hears noises and ghosts, presents serious signs of anxiety psychosis, suffers from hallucinations. She is anxious, confused, her expression is distressed, a questioning look as if terrified, disoriented. She feels confused, hears voices shouting in her head. She doesn't understand things properly. She has been feeling unwell for 2 or 3 months. When questioned, she replies, "My mother wants to hurt me. I am always scared of her. She chases me." "Why are you here?" "I argued with my mother and was so upset that I felt like my head was spinning. There was a woman there who wanted to force me into a life of prostitution. They wanted to condemn me to be burned at the stake. Children whispered, called my name." March 16th. She couldn't sleep last night. They wanted to condemn her to be burned at the stake. April 4th. Transferred to the calm ward, still under my supervision. Yes, that's true. The ward where Amara was. Yes, the stake. The children wanted to burn Renée. She had to pay for what she'd done, like witches at the stake. So many things frightened me. The system I lived in was built on fear and light. There was no mercy or understanding in the town of light. I didn't know what reality was. I never did. I've known many different realities, maybe too many. When you move, everything changes its appearance and meaning. Things aren't always that simple. They keep changing. It's like looking in a mirror, and when you move, the reflection changes. Amara, she was good. Let's look for her. What else can we do?
Alright. I'm unsure on what that means. So we've only got observation water. So is the observation water on this one? No, it's not. So observation water's downstairs, which I assume is right near where we were. It's that one. Observation. 8. Where is 8? 7. 8. Right, so the observation water's down here, where we were. Right. So which means the room we're in, which I don't actually know which room we were in. I think we woke up in this room here, didn't we? Yes, it was. It was this room here. We're laying on this bed here. So she could be anywhere in the observation water, I assume. There'll be something that triggers it. It'll make a hell of a noise as I approach it. Okay, that torch is glitching out a bit. I think I already checked that room. Pillows and sheets. Hear noises. I will admit those noises made me jump, but that is expected of a psychological horror. Dear Mr. Director, the present letter is recommended to your precious attention. Miss Irene K. admitted to your institute last April 12th. Be sure of your special attention to the unfortunate woman, our dear friend. I beg of you to provide her for every need. To provide for her every need. The family will satisfy every expense. For any concerns, please contact Messenger Alito D, who will personally come to visit. Yours sincerely, Cardinal Jew. Okay, so there's definitely parts here that are a little bit weird. So this is the reflectory. So I haven't had anything trigger whilst we're in here. These are the bathrooms here. There's not going to be anything down there. I doubt there'll be anything in these.
The grounds at the back of the hospital, and then down to the kitchens.
Alright, there we are. So we don't need to be down here at all. Sounded like one of the doors was creaking open. Okay, this wasn't open before.
This is the road we used to take. If it weren't for her, in the grounds on that bench in spring, so many days. It was an escape, watching nature around us as she talked and smiled. And then there were the kitchens. Sometimes we stole food and ran back to the bench to eat it in secret, and we laughed. She did things to me. Sometimes she touched me. In the shower, I felt her body against mine for the first time. It was a shiver that warmed my soul. Eyes closed, the light slipped away.
Okay, so she was in a way her partner.
She wasn't in the system. He wouldn't let her in. That's it. She must be the key to my memories, to the reasons why. Nature helped me to forget, to escape from the system.
Alright. Okay, so she was, this other lady, I've forgotten her name already, was her partner, I assume.
The scent of spring. The land of light was far away, and we spent the days chatting on the stone benches. This was our bench. We often went to the kitchens. She sometimes went on her own when things were going well.
Alright. Okay. Well, I have a feeling this is long enough. I'm not sure exactly how long this one here has gone for, but we'll leave this episode here and we'll continue on to the next one. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode.